A very nice woman called to say, I am an educator and I can tell you that my father got an F. And despite the turmoil, she's very funny and very witty. When people are going to prison and they ask, how long will I serve? My response is, I don't know. What are you willing to create and engineer? You can get an F and serve every single day of the sentence, or you can try to engineer an A or somewhere in between. If there's a better chance than zero that you can get an A, I would try to do it. In this instance, he gets caught with the iPhone. He goes to the hole. They take away the good time, the earned time credits. He gets an F. If you're willing to avoid the problems and work to engineer the best possible outcome, this short video is going to help because our team is investing time in cashola to develop some really cool tools that will help you get closer to what it is you want. By the way, I'm Justin. Welcome to the White Collar Advice channel. If you think we're doing good stuff, like and comment. I really would welcome your feedback. Some of the tools that we are creating, because every single day I'm asked, this is the length of my sentence, how long will I serve? So what we are developing are two tools. First, a really comprehensive federal prison directory. If you go to BOP.gov, I'm telling you that information is outdated. It's old. I just said the same thing. It doesn't work. And it's just boilerplate stuff. So what our team is doing, it's really only going to have lows and camps because the majority of people in the white collar advice community go to a low, mostly a camp. It's really going to have comprehensive information on that specific prison. And it's a good thing that I've been doing this for 17 years because I'm able to reach out to people who have been in our community and gone to a lot of prisons over the last 17 years and say, hey, someone in our community is going to this prison. I need the data. I need the 411. And people in our community are so awesome because I literally asked someone who just got home from Berlin, and within about 15 seconds, I have this comprehensive review, and that is going to make it into our new directory. So it's going to have hotels to stay in, how long it will take to get there, specifics of the information, pros and cons to a big and small camp, along with other resources. It's not done yet. It's going to be done soon, but it is going to be relevant and updated. So I'm going to be sharing this here very, very soon. Additionally, we have developed a calculator which answers the question, how long am I going to serve? Let's just test it for a moment, shall we, people? Okay, so let's just say you're going to the big house on February 16th. And let's just say you're going to do 60 months in prison. And let's just say you got one credit served for the guilty plea. Let's just say you're going to do 6 months halfway house. Now, this is really relevant because some people ask, how long will I be in the community? I don't know. It could be 3 months. It could be 9 months. It could be a year. Someone in our community who went to the camp in El Reno for a year learned he's only going to serve like 75 days. He's going home to the halfway house. That's a wrap. But if you look at what he engineered, his plan, and he had a sympathetic case manager who respected his work, he's really getting heavily rewarded. So I need you to assess how hard are you willing to work, and I want you to be aspirational about how much time in the community you can get. But you can see it's very subjective. I wrote a comprehensive blog earlier today about my good friend Tracii Hutsona. She got 51 months in prison, 9 months above the guidelines. She calls after sentencing, said, this isn't great. I'm going to prison. Tracii, what's success for you? I want to get home to my family. How do you do that? I have no idea. And we introduced her to this idea of creating assets that don't exist. She created it. She went in. Her case manager was very responsive. The case manager encouraged her not just to continue to develop her release plan, but to help other prisoners develop hers. She documented it. And before you know it, the judge took 9 months off her sentence and gave her 12 full months in the community. She didn't even pursue the drug program. So in 51 months, she served 17 months. I can assure you, after she got sentenced to prison, had she gone through this calculator, she was not going to estimate that she would have got 12 months, but that's exactly what she engineered through deliberate daily action. So let's calculate the sentence. Let's even presume you're going to do the drug program, which would certainly shorten your sentence on a 60-month sentence. And when we toggle the drug program, here's the way I factored it into for this calculator, okay? That you have to have at least 24 months in federal prison to do the drug program. You have to have a documented history of substance abuse or alcohol in the probation report. You should also see a counselor who can diagnose the issue that says you would continue to benefit from treatment. And of course, 24 to 30 months, you get 6 months off, 31 to 36, 9 months, 37 months or more, full year. Do not presume it's a wrap. If you get into the program, they're going to give you the time off, which is why even here I say to learn more about RDAP eligibility, I go through it more extensively, and I include an interview with my good buddy, great dude, a guy on my team, Glenn Hudson, who did the drug program, and he says in our interview, only 50% of the people completed the program. As much as I like you, they're just not going to give you the time off because they like you. You have to embrace and actually do the work. So let's work under the presumption you are going to do the drug program, you're going to complete it. Let's check off, for purposes of this exercise, 6 months in the halfway house. Here's the math. Okay. So without the drug program, and presuming you get your earned time credit, you don't get an F, you get your earned time credits, and you get your good time credits. That's 3 years, 2 months, and 24 days in prison. And the calculator goes through the math. Then you take another year off for the drug program. What do you got? You got 2 years, 2 months, and 29 days in prison. It's truly significant. So here are these milestones. Full term, 60 months. That's the F, unfortunately. That's the worst case scenario. Then if we again take in the 15% good time and the first step back to credits, that takes it to 2 months, 2 years, 29 days with a conditional release date. 999 days reduction. Pretty significant. Then, if we factor in, you got it, 6 months in the community, you can really see how preparing properly and engaging in programming and developing a release plan can really get you home. Because when I was in prison a long time ago, if you got 60 months, even with the drug program, you weren't getting home this quickly. So we estimate if you do the drug program, you keep your credits, your earned time credits, and even if you got 6 months in the halfway house, you're going to do 1 year, 8 months, 29 days with a conditional community placement date. Pretty good. We really tried to give you an opportunity to kind of like compare and contrast what it would be with the drug program, without the drug program, play around with a little bit. We've had people in our community get 12 full months in the halfway house after going through the drug program, or even without the drug program. So you can see how significant it is in building and trying to influence a case manager. I say it again, you don't ask them or tell them what you want. They know you want to get home. You build a record that shows why you're a candidate for it. Exactly what Tracii did, or our friend in El Reno did. We got a call from someone who's in the camp in Thompson, Illinois. His daughter is going to share his story soon on our client call and talk about how he engineered the outcome to get out in just a few months on a very short sentence. But it wasn't by accident. The entire thing was engineered. The earlier you can begin to do that, the better. And I'm going to wrap up in a moment by talking about prison professors and how that can help you. So this calculator, again, we'll give you the credit breakdown. You got 1 day in the books for time served, the good time credit at 266 days. Now, we estimate when a sentence is 18 months or longer that it will take about 6 months to begin getting 15 days a month of earned time credit. So we estimate 18 or more, 10 days a month for the first 6. After 18, 15 days a month. That's a lot of talk. The reality, or the result, is you're going to get the earned time credits, which is a really good thing. Then you take the year off and boom, you are home quicker than you think. But we also want to make sure it's not just getting home, it's what do you do when you come home. It's making sure that your job is approved, you're volunteering, and you're really working to persuade these really cynical stakeholders why you're a candidate for leniency, which is how I'm going to wrap it up. We highly encourage people who want to be extraordinary and compelling to timestamp the record they are building, to do it in real time so a case manager, a judge, a prosecutor, anyone can review that work. It really aligns with the excellent book that my partner Michael wrote in 2008, Earning Freedom, Incentivizing Excellence. And the nonprofit is a great tool for you to do that because it's all free. As I film this, you'll see there's more than 5,500 profiles, more than 9.3 million words, good people in prison writing and documenting their journey from prison. And it influences people to that end. You'll see my partner Michael yesterday. Here he is. That's Michael next to the Deputy Director, Josh Smith, as Michael continues his prison tour. I think tomorrow he's presenting and training regional directors in DC. So he's back on the road, interacting with Bureau of Prisons leadership, implementing our program. But this is super cool. Yesterday, he made a presentation to the Bureau of Prisons, including the Deputy Director, and profiled someone in our community who is documenting their journey extensively through prisonprofessors.org. Michael wrote, on Monday, I made presentations at FCC Petersburg. I emphasized to the audience that each person must write a new story, a story that advances them as a candidate for higher levels of liberty at the earliest possible time. On Tuesday, I had the opportunity to demonstrate our platform to the Deputy Director of the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Before the presentation, I checked the leaderboard to see how Petersburg ranked. At the top of the list of Petersburg, I saw a new profile for Andrew Stafford. Is he stronger Probably. Is he stronger if staff is reviewing his profile that it was presented in front of the deputy director? Michael, anyone, they can advocate for you if you're worthy of it, if you are earning freedom, if you are using your time productively. That's the beauty of the .org. It's real. You can't fake it, which is why I frequently say, including in a lengthy TikTok video I filmed, as you're traversing this system, you do not need a prison consultant. We give away everything for free through our weekly webinar, through the .org. What you should invest in, whether it's through our team or on your own, is engineering an outcome through the creation of assets that you can build on over a sustained period of time. And as I wrap up, I will remind all of you that we're never going to ask you to do what we haven't done and documented going back a very, very long time. So while I ask you to create and engineer and influence really cynical people, I want you to know that I started doing that too in prison. I just wish I started sooner. That first blog I wrote 12th or 14th of October 2008, that is when this business started. And there wasn't anything I could do to get home from prison earlier because there wasn't any Second Chance Act or First Step Act. So as you look at this calculator, I just don't want you to get a B. You know what a B is? You keep your good time credits, you get your earned time credits, maybe you get a few months in the halfway house, fine. I want you, to the extent that you can, try to engineer an A. Hope you find these resources useful. And if you are watching this and if you are home from prison, I would be so thankful if you would consider sending any specific information you have on where you serve time. I have about 100 facilities right now, and it's going to be really cool, really specific, and really help people in crisis. I said it's going to be a short video. It's 12 minutes. I hope you're happy.